Hey, Startup Nation, welcome back to another episode of Level Up, where we help you build and grow your dream practice and work with the clients that you love. Today's question comes from Michael Knoll. Hey, Michael.
Hey, Michael.
Michael asked a really great question, and I know he's asking this question because of where he is in his private practice. And he's wondering, like, when is the best time to get into a bigger space and rent a bigger space to expand into your group practice? I'm sure many of you are wondering this question.
Ooh, good question. I'm excited for this one. Yeah, right up my alley. But first, before we dive into the response to Michael's question, we want to say thank you so much to TherapyNotes for sponsoring this series. If you're in need of an awesome EHR, check them out for your first 2 months for free at therapynotes.com. Use code PPS as in Private Practice Startup. Yeah, let's dive into this question. As a group practice owner, and I have been in group practice for a decade now, it's crazy to think that. I don't know where the time goes. This is really important to think about. And what I recommend is to start small. And if you're a solopreneur, you have your own office, you can even start there because there's only so many clients that you can see with your time, right? And outside of that, you'll have empty office space. So before you get sucked into committing to a big lease for a long-term agreement, because most office leases will want you to sign long-term and you have that high overhead expense, start small. Start with bringing someone on board who can rent the office space out from the times that you are not using your office, or maybe you're hiring them to actually be an employee. I know certain states you can only have employees, others allow you to have independent contractors. Here in Florida, it's more lenient, so we're allowed to have independent contractors. So first off, you want to be clear on what your state laws and regulations are surrounding that. Make sure you're acting in alignment with those, and start small, right? So if you're filling up and you're getting to the point of needing to have a wait list, or you're constantly referring to the clinicians in your community because you can't take on anybody else, that is a really good time to start looking at bringing on an associate, bringing on a partner, bringing on an employee or an independent contractor to rent space from you, depending on what your business model is going to look like. If you know that your vision and you have a goal and a dream of having a group practice, you want to be able to really take a moment to look at all of the numbers. I know Katie wants to talk a little bit about the numbers, and I can remember doing this because getting into a larger group space is a big commitment and it's a high overhead. So you want to look at the numbers and see, okay, how many sessions do we need to have? How many sessions do I need to have to be able to afford this office space for, per month? And being able to crunch those numbers first, so you know what's going to make sense for you. And also, it's good to be able to have some relationships with potential clinicians that would be an awesome fit for your office. Clinicians that are really in alignment with your vision, mission, culture, that have complementary specializations to you. Maybe they fulfill a need in your community. You want to make sure that you're strategic about that, and you have some clinicians that would be a great fit for your practice and want to join your team before you have that initial commitment for the high overhead expenses. Katie, I know you wanted to talk more about numbers.
Yeah, I really love, Kate, that you say, like, start out with your own space as it is, right? Because that's going to be able to help you get a handle on some of your numbers, and you're going to use those numbers as a projected numbers to forecast into the future. One of the things that Kate's like talking about, like the different models of employee 1099 or real estate model, it's also important to understand, like, are you going to be doing the marketing and bringing in the clients? Are the therapists expected to that? Because you also want to see, like, how many hours they're going to be working, because that's important to also cover your numbers, right? And really starting out small, understanding what that is so you can project that. And when you can begin to predict those things, it's going to be easier to decide when it is time to move, upgrade, expand, and that's going to be the guiding force. So that's really important. The other thing too is we did a really great podcast with Michael Feuerman about negotiating a lease. So we'll pop that into the resources section as well. And then we just did a level up recently where Katie Ziskin was asking about hiring and finding clinicians. So Kate was alluding to some of that stuff. So we'll put that in the resources section too, because of course we can't just look at one thing, and we want to make sure that we're giving you really a systemic view on how to be successful in this area.
If you guys have additional questions that you want to ask, pop those into our Ask Us post. It's in our Facebook group every Tuesday. You'll see it there, and we're happy to get them answered on our Level Up series. Also, if you are really struggling or feeling stuck in private practice and need help with marketing, need help with systems and other aspects of your practice, definitely check out our private practice marketing e-course and coaching programs. The e-course is a self-study program that's on our website and available anytime you want. It's self-paced, and then we release the e-course and coaching program that is a 90-day program. We walk you through that several times a year, and we'll make sure to pop the links for those in the resource section as well. And in the meantime, you guys got this. We can't wait to see you on the next one.
Take care.